Hey, y'all, Choice here. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Here, I want to take a moment and talk a little bit about. I talk about keeping your vibe on high. And a lot of times, we have, most often, we have groups of people around us. Remember, I called them the mastermind instead of the mastermind alliance that helps to build, that comes together to brainstorm, to come up with ideas for businesses and so on and so forth. I use the mastermind alliance or the council of wise as, well, the council of wise is what I would tap into. Those are our ancestors and whomever we call into that circle, where they be alive or in the spiritual, in the unseen realm for most of us. So, but I'm talking about a group of people that come into your life at various times in your life to show you who you are. That's what I mean about the mastermind. So they master you and you have to master them in order to move on to the next thing. To the next narrative or the next game or the next saga or whatever it is. You get people that come in that you basically have to master in order to move on. That's some deep stuff, right? Probably never thought about it like that, huh? Yeah. So I call that the mastermind, in a way where you basically have to master your. When I say mind, I'm talking about heart mind. It's part of the all mind. That is the true mind, okay? The other mind is the mind that processes stuff. Well, let me say this. The brain processes information that comes in through your senses and other. The overall mind is really the true mind. It's how your thoughts and everything is coming in and everything like that. That is what we call our mind, but it's not within the skull and the head. It's outside our mind. And then we have, which is still the same, the heart mind. It's still the same. It's not the same, but it is on a higher frequency, so it connects more with the all. It's more in alignment with the all. The pure spaces within the heart is more aligned with the all. And that pure space is that space where there's about a quarter cup or half a cup of blood that doesn't circulate throughout the whole body. It just circulates just under the heart space. And that blood holds all information. It holds all knowledge. It holds all wisdom. It is a direct connection to all that is. Okay? So I'm talking about that space. Now that I went way off topic, maybe I'm a little sleepy here. Sometimes when I go over certain topics, by the time I finish, it's like wanting to explain it. And then sometimes I explain it and then I'm all off on the left, all off on the right, not even on topic, on what the topic is supposed to be about. I'm just talking about something else. That's where the Spirit moves me. When it moves me to speak about certain things, I just go with the flow of it. I don't question it. I just go with it. So now I have to try to remember what I was going to say. So people come into your life for a season and a reason. You heard this before. They come in for a season and a reason. And the season is it's time for your psyche or your soul or your whatever it is have called on folks to come into your life so that you can have this experience with them in one way or another. That's why I say it's all divine. Because there is always, when there's a question, there's always an answer, and then a messenger is usually one that comes to help us gain or grow through or evolve through or to discover the answers for ourselves. So people come in that we call in. All right. So anyway, the mastermind. These people come in with all kinds of internal stuff going on that gives you something to have to grow through. It becomes something you have to grow through. So you have to master that aspect of yourself to some degree in order to move on. Otherwise, you know how it is. If you don't get the lesson, if you don't get it the first time, it just seems to show up again. It's like being in a relationship. You're in a relationship with someone and you manage to get free of that relationship, and then you find yourself in the same type of relationship. Another face, but same type of characteristics. And sometimes we don't see it right away. Most times we don't see it right away. So the lesson keeps showing up until we get it. So it's like a mastery. It's like you have to master that course so that you can move on to the new, you know. I'm just putting it that way, but it's not really that way, but it's kind of sort of. And so these people that come into your life, I choose to call them minds, which is within the all, and is all an aspect of you, dealing with an aspect of you. So it's an aspect of you dealing with an aspect of you, another possibility of you, another possibility of who you might be, but it's in a different vessel. So how do you continue to maintain your balance and your high vibe when you have people that come in and test you? You want to sit there and talk about unconditional love. Let me tell you, some things will come into your life to say, yeah, let's see. I want to tell you that story in another video about how I discovered that, but in this video I'm just going to say, I'm not going to go off into that story, but I really want to tell you this story. I'll do another video on it another day. It's getting dark, it's starting to rain, and I think the last couple of videos I did kind of like physically, mentally, emotionally drain me a little bit when I talk about certain topics. So these people come into your life and you basically have to master that aspect of your mind. Their way of being ought not trigger you. When it gets to where it doesn't trigger you, it doesn't get to you, it doesn't cause you heartache, it doesn't cause you pain, it doesn't cause you unworthiness or suffering or any of these things, you still, no matter what happens with them, you still maintain your spirit of joy, of bliss, of love, of well-being, of it's okay, this is what life is, and it's okay. I'm grateful. Anyway, much love. More on this later. Choice here. Namaste. Thank you. Bye-bye.